So I had the ultimate experience, but I haven't had the experience of winning in front of fans yet. So maybe that's how I can top it for this year if I'm in the Royal Rumble.
Let's see if I can remember all of this. She is the roughest, the toughest, the strongest, the fastest. There's probably one I'm forgetting. Bianca Belair is with us, the EST of WWE. WWE coming through the Midwest with a lot of great shows you can check out. Definitely go check it out. Ticketmaster, big shows. Friday in Rosemont, 2 SmackDowns. Saturday, WWE Super Show. You get the best of both worlds at the Rockford BMO Harris Bank Center. And then Monday night in Milwaukee. And of course, we have the Royal Rumble on the horizon. So much going on. WWE back on the road. This thing called WrestleMania is also on the horizon as well. You guys are marching way down there. How does it feel to be back on the road with WWE again? You guys have been back now for a couple months. It must feel like, all right, here we go. This is what it was supposed to be for a while, right?
Yeah, definitely. For me, when we first got back on the road, everyone kept saying, what does it feel like to be back on the road? But for me, I had never been on the road with Raw or SmackDown because as soon as I got called up to Raw, everything shut down. So I'm experiencing this for the first time. But it's amazing. I feel like I got the debut that I never got to actually have when I first debuted on Raw, and being back with the fans is just, nothing can replace our fans. So we're super excited to be back on the road and have our fans back.
You had an incredible year. I think as the year kind of wraps up, people say, who had the best year in WWE? You certainly had that with the run you had towards WrestleMania. And things happen, but still, that was an amazing accomplishment. Like Rumble Mania, everybody wants that, and you get to have that in such a big way at such the perfect time where, it was WrestleMania, the first one back in front of fans in over a year at that point. Now you look forward, there's another Mania coming up. There's another road to WrestleMania. You have to think of goals and different things like that. You got to have that. How do you top that? How do you what's the next mountaintop? When you're on one mountain, what's the next mountain you're looking at there?
I always say, 2021 treated me so great. So when I look at 2022, all I can say is, keep the same energy, 2022. I had an amazing year, perfect timing for everything, every opportunity that presented itself. I just capitalized on that opportunity. And I was also in the ring with amazing people that made the moments even bigger. The Royal Rumble, being in there with Twin Out of the Women, WrestleMania, main eventing with Sasha Banks, and all the pay-per-views afterwards, even with Bailey, it was an amazing year. So I'm looking forward to this year. I'm not really trying to say that I'm trying to top it because I feel like I just take it one step at a time, and every time an opportunity presents itself, I just try to make the best of it and capitalize on it and have everyone talking about Bianca Belair afterwards. We're on the road to WrestleMania now, and with Royal Rumble coming up, and I just always go out there with knowing that my biggest competition is me, and trying to just focus on that and making everyone have to study me and have to study everybody else. I just want everybody to play Bianca Belair's game.
Someone's having a match with you. You're not having a match with them. That is an approach I've heard other people have as well. I had to bring this up because you come from the collegiate athletic world. You are a very, very accomplished track and field. Go Volunteers. I was told I had to say that by a friend who's an alum like you. WWE has now done something since you've been in WWE. They've launched this NIL program, the Next in Line program, which is now kind of playing in new rules and regulations with collegiate athletes. There's now a whole crop of collegiate athletes who may or may not have ever stepped in a WWE ring or ran the ropes are now in line to potentially be WWE superstars in the future. Is this something, as someone who is an accomplished track and field star, you're like, I wish I had that. This would have been so much easier if, when I was jumping hurdles with the vols, this would have been so much easier.
When I first started in 2016, I used to always say, man, I wish I found this a lot earlier. I feel like I got a late start. But, I think my path is unique, and I love the path that I took. I think that, if I would have started right after college, I would have never gotten to do CrossFit. I would have never gotten to go into powerlifting, which I pull a lot of things from CrossFit and powerlifting. and I use it in the ring, and it even molded me into the person I am, and a lot of that goes into who Bianca Belair is. So I love the journey that I had. I do think it's amazing that there's a lot of collegiate athletes that are getting this opportunity and they're getting a head start. And I have to say, being a collegiate athlete, I hope that I'm representation and I'm proof that it can work. And I'm not the only one in WWE that's a collegiate athlete that's being successful right now. We have that grit. We have, we're coachable. We know how to work hard. We know how to, have downfalls, but still be able to bounce back. So I'm really excited about this program.
Now, playing into that athletic side, all these things that you call yourself, you back up the strongest, the fastest. You have this I've heard people call you you are the sports car of wrestlers. You have all of the amenities that people would want in the ring, bell to bell, rope to rope. And the strength is there. Everything's been there. You've been able to show it off. Is there something in your arsenal of the powers that you have in the ring, a special maneuver, maybe something that people haven't seen? I'm not asking you to tell me what it is. But is there something you're going to do in the ring that no one's going to see coming? And everyone's going to be like, all right, she kept saying all that stuff, and that is 100% true. Is there something there that you haven't pulled out yet? Is there something that's going to give people that oh, wow moment at some point in the future?
The thing about me is it's always something there. Every single time I step in the ring, I try to prove that I'm the EST, whether I'm showing that I'm the strongest or the fastest or the quickest or the flyest by doing some high, top rope move. I'm always trying to pull things out of my pocket and reinvent things and just show that can't nobody do it like me or do it better than me. Doing things like Crown Jewel, the one arm press, or, when I just had the match on Raw and I had two girls on my shoulder and powerbombed them. I'm always trying to do something and prove that no one can do it like me or do it better than me. So I always have something up my sleeve. I'm always just trying to find and pick and choose the perfect time to pull it out. So
has there been a time when you wanted to you did double person power bomb, right? Yeah. Did someone say like, are you sure you can, like, was there anyone that said like, wait, are you come on, are you certain you can do this? Has anyone ever doubted you and then you're like, oh, now I'm gonna do it, now I have to do this?
Well, what's crazy is I think I've built this reputation where I do a lot of things that originally, before, people would say like, are you sure you could do this? I've built this reputation now where I think everyone thinks I'm Superwoman. So people will actually have ideas and they'll be like, hey, I think you could do this. And then I'm the one that's like, who do you think I am? Like, really? I don't know. And then actually, it's
hey, there's traffic in front of us, Bianca. Can you pick up these cars and just move them if you could? Exactly.
But they think I'm Superwoman, and they have this confidence in me, which I believe. And sometimes I'm actually the one that's kind of, honestly, I'm the one that's like, I don't know. And then I have people that are actually encouraging me, which is really cool. It really just shows how just empowering and supportive like our backstage is and our locker room is. They're always pushing me to like, no, you can't do this. You're the EST. Remember, you gotta practice what you preach
and then
now.
You're like, all right, now I gotta back it up. All right, I said all that stuff on the microphone. Now I gotta go out there. Okay, all right. We're gonna have to do a 3-person power bomb tonight. Great,
exactly.
Great. So a lot of big things coming up here. You mentioned the Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble will be at the Dome in St. Louis, and that's going to be a huge event. You got to win that event. This is a hard match to put together in terms of just the structure of designing the match, but it's a really, really exciting one because it has all these surprises and it has this big momentous thing to it. Tell me about your Royal Rumble experience, because you got to have the full experience. You got to have everything that anyone would want out of the experience. Not everyone gets to have it. What was it like for you? And what is it like to put that match together when you're, all right, here's what we're doing. Here's the plan, Because there's a lot of exciting things just for you as someone who's performing the match, even if you're not winning it.
Yeah, it's a very exciting match. It's so unpredictable. And you have, 30 women in the ring, and it's women from all 3 brands. Raw, NXT, SmackDown, is legends in there. So it's really fun. But it all just depends a lot of what entry you are. So for me, I was number 3. And so knowing it, when you know that you're earlier on in the Royal Rumble, in order to win, you're going to be in the ring for around an hour.
Mhm.
So your strategy kind of changes, but it's just a lot of different moving parts. You're constantly, you're trying to throw somebody over the top rope, which is how you eliminate them. But then you also have somebody trying to throw you over the top rope. So but it really just changes depending on what your entry is. My first year I was number 2. My second year I was number 3. So I think I have experience with learning how to last throughout the match. It is a really tricky match to put together, but it's really fun. And I think I had the ultimate experience last year, even without, when I think about the Royal Rumble and I think about how amazing the moment is, I still forget sometimes that it wasn't in front of an audience. There were no fans. But that's how amazing the moment was in the end, and how much I was into the moment with knowing I was going to WrestleMania, and we had the pyro, we had our virtual fans. So I had the ultimate experience, but I haven't had the experience of winning in front of fans yet. So maybe that's how I can top it for this year if I'm in the Royal Rumble.
2 in a row. Let's see if we can do 2 in a row. One more before I get out of here. Once again, BMO Harris Bank Center in Rockford coming up. Get your tickets while you still can. This is a great experience. If you've been to a Raw or SmackDown, what's the difference with a live event like Super Show? You get to see everybody. You get to see everybody on one show. And the card is absolutely fantastic. Go get your tickets, WWE.com. A lot of big events coming up across the Midwest. Got the plug in. Have to ask this question. The hair whip. Where did this come from? At what point did you know you could use it in matches? Has there been a point where you wanted to use it in a match and people were like, no, I don't want to do it that? Has there been something where you haven't done something with the hair whip you want to do? It's such a unique, special, only you thing that I've never seen anyone do, that every time you get in the ring, I anticipate someone's getting whipped with a whip of hair. I'm excited to see it.
So the hair whip, initially I was just wearing the hair just to really stand out. When I was trying to figure out who Bianca Belair was and what I wanted to look like and represent, I was debating between this long braid or just wear my hair down and flowy, because I saw all the other girls wearing their hair like that. I'm like, they look so pretty. I want to do the same. And my husband was the one who really encouraged me, who's Montez Ford. He's one half of the Tag Team Street Profits. He's the one that actually encouraged me to wear the braid, because when I first came in, I was very new to the business and new to WWE and wrestling. And he was just explaining to me, you want to stand out. You want to be unique. So he told me, look at what everybody else is doing and do the opposite. He said, nobody else is wearing that long braid. And if anybody comes to a show for the first time, even if they don't remember your name, they'll remember the girl with the braid. So I just wore it at first. It's just a signature look. And I was in the ring one day, and my coach, Sarah Amato, she was just like, you might want to, if you're going to wear that long braid, you might want to figure out how you can use it to your advantage. Otherwise, it's going to be used to your disadvantage. And so I had a match one time in California, my first NXT road loop match, live event match. And I threw my braid at my opponent, and I just did it just like, I thought it might look cool as a move, and it made this huge noise. And the crowd went crazy, and we kind of looked at each other in the ring like, what was that? And I'm like, I think that was my hair. So ever since then, it's been a thing. I'm like, oh, I can actually use this thing now, and I can use it to my advantage. And right now my rule is, if you don't touch my hair, don't touch my hair. If you don't touch it, I won't use it. And so it's always warranted. But I want to figure out more ways to use it, whether it's tripping a girl, or I want to come off the top rope one day and like hit a girl one day if she touches my hair too much. But I want to do some cool things in the future with it.
Is the dreaded hair versus hair match avoidable?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
Okay. Okay. We end on that point.
Yeah, I have no desire to do a hair versus hair match.
I had to ask. The mean carnival mind in my head of a wrestling fan had to ask. God, there's money in that. There's money in that. Right.
I see people tweeting me all the time about it. I'm like, I'm going to block you if you tweet me about a hair match.
Well, don't block me. Don't block me. I'm just the messenger. People ask me to ask, so I had to ask. Thank you so much, Bianca Belair. You can check her out every Monday night on the USA Network with Monday Night Raw, and of course, WWE Live, back on the road. BMO Harris Bank Center in Rockford on the 18th. And of course, Monday Night Raw in Milwaukee at the Fiserv Forum coming up on the 20th. And thank you so much for Monday Night Raw. It's going to be a part of the road to WrestleMania as well. And so much more events. Go to WWE.com for all your tickets and information. Bianca, thank you so much for the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.